Okay, good morning, everyone. And we can see here participants being joining around 40 plus are there already. It's a great day. Thank you for joining at the right time. We have another 100 participants. I think the email might have reached and they might be joining soon. I am Dr. Chandrasekhar. I am the coordinator of this session and as well as our program. We had communication before for the past few weeks. Past few weeks we have been let just yeah. So welcome all. We will be discussing and talking a lot. So I will just say welcome to you, and I am very happy to see you. This ITS FDP is unique and special to me because I have been dreaming about this for a long time to do some FDP or some training program or some sharing thing um, across our transport professors as well as civil engineers and as well as multidisciplinary experts. So we thank AACTU, from our heart to give this fantastic opportunity, to have this meeting. So they have given us the grant and given us the permission to do this program. So this will be this is a very good moment for us. And we have, I will talk about the intro thing, everything later. So our HOD, our department HOD, Dr. Preeti ma'am is here. She will say some welcome message to invite you here. And then our senior professor, Jessie ma'am, is here. After they both deliver their welcome messages, I will come in and I will be, you will be seeing me quite a lot today, for the first session and then the second session. Professor Roland may be joining in the second session. Because of Germany time difference, I asked him to come in the afternoon. He was ready to come in the morning. I said, no, you can join later. You can join in your morning time, no issues. He said, thank you. He said, thank you. So he will be joined sometime in the afternoon. Evening, we will be doing some simulation installation, and it's great to see you all, ma'am. So I will invite our head of the department now, Dr. Preeti ma'am. She has done a lot of FDPs and conferences here, and she had her studies in abroad, and it's wonderful to have this meeting here, ma'am. Can I give the
Yes,
online podium to you, ma'am? Thank you.
yes, yes.
Welcome all. Very good morning. Welcome all. Dr. Preeti, our head of the department, she will deliver her welcome message now.
Good morning to one and all. I welcome every one of you to Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. This is a great occasion for us to have participants from across the country. Teaching learning process during the last 2 semesters has a challenge for all of us. We had to adapt to online mode of teaching and evaluation. So the technology makes it possible to continue our work and helping us now to connect easily. So the same communication technology is having a huge impact on transportation area too. For example, we can pinpoint the location of any vehicle and provide location-based services. We extensively use navigation facility in mobile phones to find routes and directions. So that involves sensors and computing as well. So making a transport system to be more intelligent involves a multidisciplinary approach. So in our UG program, not only for civil engineering, but for all branches of engineering, we have an open elective course on intelligent transportation system offered for all final year students. Dr. P. Chandrasekhar, professor in civil engineering department, has a wide knowledge on this field. You can always contact him and he'll be happily assisting you in this area. So then I ensure that this FDP will enrich your knowledge and skills in ITS. Our country is going to have enormous growth in infrastructure development and smart cities. So the ITS can stand as a backbone of this group. So we are very thankful to AICTE for granting this opportunity to us. We thank our university, our Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, our Pro-Chancellor, Director and Dean for their continuous support. I thank each and every one of you for being a part of our FDP. Thank you, and I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. You have rightly pointed out, and you have thanked our university and director, the vice chancellor, everyone who are rendering their support to have us this platform so that we can easily communicate with our participants and have this program. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, sir. All the
Ma'am,
best.
I would like to thank you, ma'am. You can join any session and have a look here. It will be great. It will be great pleasure for us. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you. Just ma'am, Professor Jessie, ma'am is here, and she is one of the founding persons of our civil engineering department in our university. It's my great pleasure, great honor to welcome her to give some welcome message for you all participants. Ma'am, one second, ma'am. Let me just ask one participant or one or two. Are you able to listen to us? Is our audio, video, everything all right? Could someone unmute and say?
Yes, sir. It is fine.
Very good, Mr. Imanshu. Thank you very much, Ms. Divya. Thank you. So that, ma'am, Jessie, ma'am, please, I invite you. Give your welcome message. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandrasekhar sir. Good morning, everyone. Have a nice day. It is a pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering and also on behalf of the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. Here, Chandrasekhar sir has given an introduction and Preeti ma'am has welcomed all of you. And let me give a brief background about our university and about our department. Actually, our institution began its journey as Hindustan College of Engineering in the year 1985. And along with that, our Department of Civil Engineering was also established. And we are a part of Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science from 1985. We obtained the university status in the year 2008 under the name of Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. So our department is now serving for more than around 35 years. Currently, our university is a part of a bigger entity called Hindustan Group of Institutions. The group manages several technical institutions at various locations in our country. Apart from offering the UG and PG programs with our university status, we have the privilege to supervise future doctorates. In this regard, our department has produced till now more than 20 PhDs and almost around 30 research scholars are currently pursuing in our department. And I myself, I'm now guiding around 10 research scholars. And our PG program is now, we have a specialized programs in structural engineering, construction engineering and management, environmental engineering, transportation engineering. And we know that, all of you know that our institution is well known because our Chancellor, Madam, Dr. Mrs. Elizabeth Verghese, she herself, she was a chief engineer in the highways department. And we have an affinity and we have, in a way, a personal bond to transportation domain. So this particular FDP, I feel it will be an apt at this particular scenario because transportation engineering is booming now because we know the population is increasing. The various modes of transportation are now in need of it. So various, especially the intelligent transportation system, the FDP, I feel it is it's a very apt at this particular moment. Over the past 3 decades, we have established collaboration with various universities across the world. Now, recently, our university received funding from Germany that it is around 4 crore rupees to conduct collaborative research with Trier University, Germany. So our speaker is also, today's first speaker is also from the same university. And the project aims to find innovative methods to improve traffic safety. And our department deals with the road aspect of the project, while the automobile department of our university deals with the vehicle and driver safety aspects. And we regularly conduct events for both academic and industry people. to better understand and appreciate the role of civil engineering in infrastructure development and in protecting the environment for our future generation. In this regard, the role of advanced technologies can be seen in every field of engineering, especially in transportation engineering. And if you see, it's a part of our life now. If you have booked a ticket via online platform, or if you have ordered some food to be delivered at your doorstep, or even if you have listened to radio saying about some incident that happened in a road, or heard about a news, a traffic diversion, that means you had already been benefited by the intelligent transportation system applications. So here we know our Chandrasekhar sir, he is the main personality, the focus area, personality today, because he is the coordinator for this faculty development program. He is a very dynamic, enthusiastic professor in our department, and whatever initiative he wanted to take, he will very keen in taking such initiatives. And because he has a very few experience, because he just joined last year, around 1 year almost. So within that duration itself, he had an enthusiasm to apply for this FDP in ASAT, and it is a great privilege that at his first attempt we got the sanction, and we could conduct this FDP because of Dr. P. Chandrasekhar sir. And I know I just talk about a little about him, and he has a vast experience in the field of transportation engineering, especially in ITS. He obtained his PhD from National University of Singapore, NUS Singapore, in the year 2001, and served as research fellow and teaching instructor at NUS for more than around 5 years. And he worked as a lead software consultant and developed a LabVIEW-based industrial automation and test rig software used in automobile app industry. And he has a lot of other consultancy activities and teaching experience. And currently, he is working as a professor in the Department of Civil Engineering, Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science. So with this brief introduction, I invite you all, enjoy your online stay with us and learn as much as possible about ITS. We hope to see you sometime soon here in our university. That will give us an opportunity to show our hospitality in person, because we are conducting now in online. We may not be able to see you all by face. So we expect all of you to come to our university at any time, whenever chance obtain, whether to attend conference or to deliver some lecture or for some technical support. On any of the way, we invite all of you to our campus, and keep in touch with us. Stay safe. All the very best. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jasima. You have given very clear idea about the university, and thanks for saying a lot of good words about me. I am very happy and flattered, and I was about to say my education and experience and all you mentioned. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. And you rightly said that if this is in person, we can actually show much appraised, very good hospitality. But now we will extend that as maximum as possible through online mode. Thank you very much, man. Thanks during this tight schedule and all. Both of you, Preeti ma'am, Jesse ma'am, thank you so much. That might have given a very clear picture where we are now, and from here on, myself and our co-coordinator, Ms. Shalini Nair, she is helping us in all administrative and coordinating things. So I thank her also. So myself and Ms. Shalini ma'am and other speakers will carry the torch from now, ma'am. Thank you so much. You are free to join anytime, any session, anytime. Please, you can just have a visit here, and thank you so much for your kind words, participants. And this is a nice occasion. Like Madam said, we will maximize the usage of it. It's not an easy thing, or it's not everyday happening thing on ITS. So I'm so glad that you are here, and Madam has given an excellent introduction, and welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
you so much, Doctor. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I officially inaugurate the FDP. For the 5 days FDP is inaugurated now, so the session can be continuous. And I request the participants to attend all the sessions maximum possible and participate in the final test and assignment, and you can give your valuable feedback at every session. At the end of every session, you can give your feedback. So once again, I welcome all of you and thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Originally, we planned for the theory session now and then a software installation in the evening. Morning session after the intro session, we decided, okay, after lunch, here we can relaxedly install the software and have the theory session in the evening. Pretty flexible here. So that's one thing. And dear participants, professors, and guess I think you might even if you are watching the simulation video I sent, you can hold it, and we will attend to Prof. Roland here. So after our talk, we can go back to our installation procedure. I welcome Professor Dr. Roland Schaff from Trier University from Germany. We are so happy to have you here, Roland. And is the app person is from Germany, where all the innovations, in whether it is V2V, vehicle to vehicle, or vehicle to infrastructure, millions of vehicles being connected, all the new innovations are being tested, and the cities in Germany are like a test bed for those ITS innovations. So we are so glad to have some words from the person from there. And Professor Roland is in traffic route design, and I could see from engineering software, from highways. We used to chat a couple of times after I joined here. It's a wonderful person and wonderful experience. Prof. Roland, the stage is to you now.
Well, hello everybody, and Chandra, thanks for having me on your web conference. Good afternoon to you in India. I'm happy to address to you a few words concerning ITS and traffic simulation. And as Dr. Chandra hinted at, I'm not quite new to Hindustan University. I had been there in Chennai in 2019, just before the pandemic took over. We went there with our faculty and students and had a very good time. We were very heartily welcomed, and I always remember this as one of my best trips I did in professional life. And in return, Hindustan University people, faculty and students came over to my university, Trier University of Applied Sciences in Germany. And this was, of course, also very interesting for us, but I guess for Indian students and faculty as well. Both universities are carrying out a joint research program since 2019, and it is still going on for 1.5 years, I think. It covers some aspects about traffic safety, and we are looking at the vehicle, the driver, and the road itself, of course, which civil engineers usually are responsible for. But well, these limits and borders are blurry and fading over time. The project is funded by DAAD, that is the German Academic Exchange Service. It's worth about €500,000, which is about 4.5 crores Indian rupees. So there's quite some people involved and being funded in there, and some travel expenses are being covered as well. Such projects are proof that it is important to go for approaches across disciplines in international exchange for solving key transportation problems, and in this case, traffic safety in particular. We can no more stick to isolated theories of civil engineering or highway engineering only. Of course, these are the underlying technologies and methods. However, as everything is growing together and everything is literally being connected and made online, we need to embrace advancement from every other technology or any other disciplines that is available, such as other engineering disciplines, but also social engineering, social sciences, of course. Such integration of technologies and knowledge had been referred to under many different names Here it is ITS, Intelligent Transportation Systems. In Germany, telematics is a very popular term being referred to in very different contexts. So you always have to listen to what they mean by telematics or ITS. Then there's smart cities, of course, if you look at urban areas, which is a totally different game than rural areas, and so on. So you need to agree about definitions before you start talking. Whatever you might call it, the problems that need to be addressed remain the same, however. At many different places, these problems that are developing at a pace that is as quickly as potential relieving technologies are emerging. So there is no time to waste to start tackling these problems. So what are the problems we are expected to solve? Well, it depends on who you ask. Some will still, I might say, some will still put economic growth first. Of course, it is important as to maintain power and as to maintain influence, to make changes. If you're not strong, you cannot make changes, of course. But it shouldn't be an end in itself. And then there are traditional goals of transportation engineers, such as traffic safety, life cycle costs, level of service, cost value ratio. This is all what we older people have learned back in university what to have a look at. However, nowadays, many will put climate change and air pollution and protection of environment first. This fraction of society is growing across the world. I'm witness to this in Germany. The people are walking the streets they're demonstrating for climate change politics. Rightly so, if you allow me a personal note. My personal conviction is that this should be our guiding theme along with traffic safety. Across the world, climate change, however, is being looked at differently. As coming from a wealthy industrialized country, I understand that less developed countries try to pace up economically. Maybe Germans should scale down. I should personally myself scale down my lifestyle and walk back a few steps. Most likely my life wouldn't be worse if I would not use so many conveniences. There is so much to do, especially for us developed economies, as we are responsible for the highest per capita emissions. This is due to an excessive focus on economic growth paired with individual convenience, to be honest. The focus has moved from infrastructure-based technologies that are being provided by the government to solutions that come as a data-driven service or an individual advantage to vehicle users or vehicle owners, I might say. But you always have to remember that individual convenience and advantages often contradict network-wide or social goals such as traffic safety and climate protection. So what are the methods to estimate effectiveness? Of course, there is experience and real data, measured data. But as we often talk about solutions that haven't been realized yet or haven't been used for a long time, and some situations are too complex to work on with paper and pen methods. These simple methods, traditional methods we learned and have been used to, they fail. So therefore, the simulation is the tool to be used when assessing complex situations or control mechanisms in road traffic or road transit. Even pedestrians are being simulated and should not be left out, must not be left out when they are part of the problem. It's 15 years ago now that the guidelines for traffic simulation have been introduced in Germany under my direction. And I have been using simulation my whole professional life, which is about a little more than 30 years now, in the fields of freeway, traffic optimization, and ITS control systems such as ramp metering. When I learned that Dr. Chandra is working for the Hindustan Institute of Technology and Science, I remembered that I have been reading his papers written at the National University of Singapore. as we have been using the same simulator software for many years back then. By now, I'm using a German software called Vissim, which is most likely being used by my students, so I prefer to teach this to my students. But I have always enjoyed using Paramis and reading about other users that have been very advanced in using it. He truly is an internationally acknowledged expert with many years of experience. Recently, Dr. Chandra and I had some very interesting discussions about his current fields of interest, which still utilize simulation and focus on traffic safety. I'm extremely glad to hear from Chandra that this web conference brings together participants from a variety of fields of engineering besides civil engineering and transportation engineering. I hear that faculty members from computer science, electronics, information technology, even automation are participating in this faculty development program. Once you learn what ITS is all about, you can teach your students about the opportunities of this. I'm sure this conference will open doors to new collaborations between institutions in India to undertake more research and joint work on making transportation systems more intelligent. For civil engineering faculty participating in this program, I do encourage learning about simulation tools. This is standard in Germany. Many consultant firms, many administrations here use simulation for complex situations, and many situations are not standard anymore. Everything is in some way complex or not being addressed by typical paper pen methods. Evaluation by simulation is the main job of transport engineers in the ITS domain. But also in traditional highway engineering, as I just said. Nowadays, simulation tools are easier to learn and much more powerful than 10 or 20, even 20 years ago. Truly, this is the method to gather facts and information about traffic control systems or ITS in general. It is the basis for scientific work. So finally, I send to you my best wishes to you in person, but also to India as a nation, as I consider Germany and India as friends. See you sometime. Stay safe, and thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Roland. So fantastic. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. This morning, I told our participants, I gave an intro. We were using animal-drawn vehicles. We used cars, buses, and we used steam engine vehicles. And then now we are dealing with autonomous drones and all, and future with electrical vehicles. I was asking them, is this the intelligent transport system, or is this the advancement in transport system? These two are different, because cars at that time, the normal IC engine cars, even before the animal-drawn vehicles, long ago, horse-driven, they were the technology, they were the ITS at that time. So every time things change, today's ITS is tomorrow's, hopefully not a joke, but at least tomorrow's memory and yesterday's dream, right? So I was telling them, this is how you have to look at the philosophical aspect, where traditional goals you mentioned, yes, safety, travel time, fantastically mentioned, and broader goals of world level changes, what's going on, how we can contribute from this tiny end of, from civil engineering. It's a small research doing in transport, traffic and all. In fact, the impact, like you said, is too big. So I'm so glad you mentioned about that. Thank you for your speech there. And you mentioned about the complexity being able to be, it's difficult to do it with analytical modeling. Then we go to simulation tools. It's wonderful intro for me, so that I will also cling to that. I remember that. I will tell my participants, remind them that this is not something like a video game. This is something like which we can't solve using analytical models. It is so complex and so probabilistic, chaotic, especially Indian traffic. You were here in Chennai. So it's a challenge to model Indian traffic. We are trying. And modeling is always approximation. How best we can approximate and get some benefits. You mentioned about that in the complex system. And finally, you mentioned about the pedestrian thing. I was really happy. Recently, there was a viral video going on flyovers, like different levels of flyovers in WhatsApp, Facebook. Everywhere it was going on. I got like 20 people sending to me in India, hey, about this one transport guy, so I am sending it. Every time I was replying them, do you know that if you build that kind of flyovers, that is really a problem for pedestrians? How will you cross? If you go for always infrastructure development as the only solution, how will you take care of pedestrians? So you mentioned about pedestrians. I am so happy that these points have to be addressed whenever we want to use infrastructure plus intelligence. I was telling them, so far it was infrastructure, at least in the past 20 years, it's like infrastructure plus intelligence, so that we can see how to achieve the final goals. Thank you so much, Roland. This is absolute great pleasure for all of us. This will kickstart our simulation thing we are doing right now. We are installing the program. That will be a great motivation. Thanks for your time. Thank you so much. Yeah,
thank you for having me.
Thank you. It's our great pleasure. Thank you. You can. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.